Hello, my little goblins and goblets. We got vampires. This is what you guys wanted. Update on this deck. So what did we get in this deck? We got Vampire Ghost. Very good card. It pretty much lets us send a vampire from our hand or face up on the field to the graveyard. Vampire card, by the way. So it could be one of our spells or traps. Um, and it when doing so, we get to add a level 4 or higher vampire to our hand. And then when doing that, we get to send a familiar or retainer to the graveyard, which lets us combo off and do everything else we need to do. Another new card we're playing with is going to be the Zombie Vampire. A very good card. This card can be played in other decks too, because if you read the card, if you use a monster with the level that is owned by your opponent for the XZ, treat it as a level 8. So that means if you're playing like Sky Strikers, you could Widow Anchor your opponent and technically use your opponent's monster to go into Zombie Vampire. If you have like double Widow Anchor, you could double Widow Anchor, use both their monsters, go into Zombie Vampire. You can use Shark Cannon too with Sky Striker. Pretty good. So pretty much any cards that allows you to take cards from your opponent, you can use as material to go into the Zombie Vampire. Another card that we're using that is new is the Vampire Fascinator. So the Vampire Fascinator, this allows you to, when you link summon, special summon one of your opponent's monsters in their graveyard to your side of the field. And, what do you call it? You can tribute one vampire monster, then target one monster your opponent controls, take control of it. So the deck's pretty much has a flavor of take whatever your opponent has, put it on your side of the field, and then use that as material to go into Zombie Vampire. Because this card's nuts. Not only can it not be targeted by the effects of special summon monsters, except for those who special summon from the graveyard, but it also has the effect of detaching one material, and each player sends the top 4 cards of their deck to the graveyard. And any monsters sent by this effect, I can special summon them. So if my opponent has some sick monsters, I can grab some of those. But for me, I have a lot of cards that activate in the graveyard. We have Mizuki. We have Necroworld Banshee, which lets us put up a Zombie World. I actually think Zombie World should probably go to 2, or I should at least put Necroworld Banshee to 2. One of those two. Another card, Doom King Baldurak. Card's insane. Card's very good. Probably one of the best zombie cards out there, besides maybe Eldritch, arguably. But I mean, if you're talking raw power, this thing's got it all. It's got a very good engine on it. And what else are we doing? The last thing I'm going to tell you about this deck, we have a little cheeky combo that just bones our opponent. Zombie World with Warlords. So we make the monsters on the field turn to zombies, right? And then Warlords makes it so you can only have zombies on the field. And if they're not playing zombies, they're... You know what? You kind of get the drift. They're not going to be able to play the game. So it's a pretty nasty combo, in my opinion. And gets a lot of early concessions. So let's get to the games, and we will see what we got going on here. Hello, my little goblins. We're here for game 1. Vampires, very deadly. And we're going to have a pretty strong early start. Never mind, we get Ash. I never understand this. Like, I think 10 times out of 10, you always, like, just Ash the Solitaire, right? I think it's kind of weird not to Ash that. So I guess I wanted to show this game because I wanted to show how hilarious it is when you play against Flonderies when you have Zombie World out. Because, first of all, the Flonderies cards don't activate because you need to be normal summoning Winged Beast, right? Well, when all your monsters are zombies, you can't really do that. Also, they can't tribute summon monsters because Zombie World doesn't allow them unless they're zombies. So yeah, this single card, if they have no back row removal, single-handedly wins you the game. Like, it's literally impossible for Larry Atta, the big Lair Bear, Adam Mobata, the Leicester, Lanny Boferi. Lanny Bofani. That's a good one. Lanny Bofani. I like that one. Yeah, it's impossible for him to win. We're just going to fast forward it because this is completely hopeless at this point, right? You know, the Baron de Fleur. Yada yada. We summon this shit. Larry's just going to concede. There's no way you even bother playing through that. I just wanted to show Zombie World and how strong it is for the people who might not know. All right, we're here for game number 2. And our opponent, DDD, I thought they were going to be playing DDD, but they didn't. So that was DDD disappointing. I got you guys. That was a good one, right? We're pretty much summoning the Unabomber. And the Unabomber is going to send Doom King Baldric to the graveyard. Playing against Dinomorphia. Or for you guys, Dino Babes. That's pretty much what the deck is. He's just having his life points 600 times. I try and stop the Therizia. Was this a good called by? Yeah. I think so. Therizia is a better card out of the two because it lets you set the card, so he gets like double value from it. This card will only let him send to graveyard, so I think it was still worth it. This Warlords is going to pretty much be my ace against him trying to fusion summon another one or fusion summoning anything else from the deck, from the extra deck. He's going to beat my ass. Nothing new. We're going to summon the Baldric. Summon Gozaku. Now, since he's activating this ability right here, we can Doom King and negate it. And then he tries to go for the fusion summon. We pop Warlords. Because we are the Warlord. I am the captain now. And DDYYDS is gonna feel Balrog's wrath by banishing his Dinomorphia babe. Goodbye, waifu. Then we go into the Vampire Suck, and this guy's a loser, and he just Psalm Judgments me. But you kind of have to expect it. The deck pretty much runs a bunch of them. So here, we're going to be going into a second Vampire Suck. And this man has like some fucking PTSD with Vampire Suck because he just Ferret Flames it back. I don't see it. Maybe he just really doesn't want me drawing a bunch of cards. I don't know. I thought it was really weird though. Well, I guess, you know what, never mind. Vampire Suck's pretty strong because when Baldric comes back from the graveyard, it activates so I can draw a card, but then I can use its secondary effect to banish his other fusion. So I guess that makes sense. Kinda. I feel like he's just not using the Ferret Flames on this card. He ends up countering it, which is kind of unfortunate. Honestly, insane hindsight from DDD because I just top decked this. Like, he literally just set that last turn with his Therizia. But we're going to activate Vampire Familiar. He's going to use Trap Trick. And since he's using Trap Trick, this should be his last Ferret Flames. So I'm not too worried anymore because I only have to deal with one more. And he has no cards on the field. Like, he has these two, but who gives a shit? Like, I have Rivalry of the Warlords. This is going to prevent him from, like, doing anything crazy. And now we added Fraulein for backup. So if he even managed to, like, get rid of Mizuku and try and attack me and try and kill me, Fraulein is my backup to save me from dying. DDD, he's just getting outmaneuvered. My brain, you guys can't see it right now. My brain is increasing like tenfold. Like I wish I was good at editing, so I can just keep like editing my brain getting bigger and bigger each game. But yeah, we took that game. It was a pretty hard fought one. GG. Alright, well, we're at the point in the video where in game 3, we're just going to have to showcase one of the worst players I've ever seen. No offense to Joe Evan Exel. I assume some of these people are just trying to learn how to play their deck, which is alright, which is all fine. We all need to do that sometimes, you know? I make mistakes in this video too. Bunch of mistakes. I make mistakes in every video. It's kind of that's the charm of the channel. Like, you guys can count how many times I fuck up, and then you let me know in the comments. Like, trust me, I see those. Trust me, I see every time you let me know. Him imperming the vampire suck is a little odd. I was kind of like confused why he did that, but Doomkid Baldric's gonna come out. I'm gonna get my free draw, which is all that matters in my life. He's gonna activate Aliber. Shit ain't being activated. I'll tell you that right now. Stop that shit in its tracks. This is the weirdest fucking play, dude. He branded in red, but he doesn't actually fuse into anything. Like, that's weird, right? I thought it was the strangest shit I've ever seen. But we top tech Volavid. We summon Mizuki, and then we're just gonna start beating his ass in. Because I can't really do much else. And then we summon the Vampire Suck. Here was the mistake I made. So with Mizuki, I should have summoned Unizombie. I am a complete idiot. I have no idea why I didn't summon Unizombie. Because Unizombie could have set up my board where I could have sent like the Vampire Familiar and stuff like that. And I could have done a bunch of combos. But instead I summoned Vampire Sucker, right? I draw the Desire, and then I activate Desire because I'm like, oh, I can use Desire to send Familiar. Fatzoid, I should, if I could edit my head, I'd be shrinking it at this point because this card will only work with cards that have levels, so it doesn't work with links. So I had to send it to the graveyard to its secondary effect to summon the fat bitch. Like, it was a mess, but our opponent fucked up too, so I'm not too concerned. Plus, we have Warlords. There's like pretty low chance we ever lose this, right? So we're gonna get a free draw. Draw Ash Blossom, delicious. Alright, now we're just gonna be like, okay, well, let's just win this game now, maybe? Question mark? We activate Baldrak, we can banish this slut. Goodbye. Damn it, he tricked me. This man's a very tricky person with his tragedies. I'm gonna Ash Blossom it. And then he's gonna branded sword and chain. I know you have a trap, but you don't have to you don't have to activate it just because I like used Ash Blossom. You don't have to chain it just for the sake of chaining, you know? We're gonna go into Baron. And then he's gonna droplet my Baron. He's gonna he thinks he's such a slimy little weasel. He's like, I'm gonna live this turn, right? No, you're not, because I'm gonna showcase the power of this deck, which is vampires. Vampires can do anything that you put your vampire mind to. So we just add Vampire Ghost, draw another card. Retainer is going to send Gross to the graveyard. Retainer is going to grab our Vampire's Domain. And now we get to go into Volvid. By the way, Volvid has insanely cool artwork. And I was very surprised that it... Like, why... I know I mentioned this in the other vampire video I did. Why does this have artwork? Dude, Zombie Vampire has no artwork. Like, no animation. But fucking Vampire Volvid has an animation? How does that work? I mean, it's the same card, right? Like, if you actually look at them, they're the same person. I just find it weird. But we have like a bajillion damage on board. He's dead. And remember, we use this to steal his token. Because we're little rascals. Alright, guys. This is going to be the final match. Final match I do. I was going to say final video, but probably not that. you guys can expect some more sick ass video content. Look at this combo. Look, like, do you guys ever just watch me play this game and you wonder how I got my schlong to be that huge? Because I do. Look at this. Necroworld Banshee. I fucking thinning out the deck. Pretty nuts. And then Glow Up Bloom goes into Link Karibo. Crazy. And then that's going to go into Baldric. Boom. And then we special summon Grace. And we go into our Suck. Now, right here, we have Negates. We can go into Baron. And we got Suck. Which, I don't know, does something, I guess. Never mind. We don't have anything. Wait, this is still level 8. We're fine. Never mind. Well, we get Gambit. Oh, well. It's alright. We still have a pretty good likelihood of not dying, at least. So that's good. Well, he's going to Omega. Let's see what he ends up getting. He gets Solitaire. Kind of annoying. And then Time Maiden is going to grab him Zephyrin the Time Lord. Then he's going to activate Twin Twisters. Oh, he's playing Numeron Network. Oh. So we just die. And we don't give him the satisfying 8,000 attack because this guy's a scumbag. Well, let's get to the recap and find out what happened. We are here at the recap, and we have a lot of important information to go over. The first important information is, why aren't you subscribed to me yet? You got this far in the video and you didn't subscribe? Are you a scumbag Numeron player like that last guy we just seen? Even if you are, you should still subscribe. Helps me out a lot. I'm looking at you in the eye right now, so we have a closer bond, you know? So yeah, subscribe, like the video, and comment down below what the hell you want to see next. New cards came out. Maybe I didn't do a video on something. Probably. Let me know. Alright, let's go to the, let's get to the recap on all this. Is the deck good? Kind of mediocre. If I'm going to be honest, I do like the vampire gimmick. Like, I think the cards are cool. Like, they look really awesome and stuff. And they have some powerful interactions. Like, I think the Ghost with Suck, and then using Vovid to pretty much Kaiju your opponent on their turn, I think that's a very powerful interaction. I think the Zombie World in itself is a powerful interaction. I think we probably need to up the amount we use these, because a lot of the games we win are just based on this. But I will say, it was very... Me getting out Zombie World was very consistent. Even with just one copy and one copy. We've won so many games based off of Warlords. It's actually insane. I feel like half of the games we won were based off Warlords with Zombie World, because that combo is like disgusting. Really, really strong. But yeah, I mean, the overall vampire archetype as a whole, I think is definitely a lot better now with the Vampire Ghost. Now, how do I rate some of these other cards that were in the deck? This, I literally used one game and it didn't really do anything. This, I used 2 games and it was kind of useful just because the effect of this card sends to the graveyard. It doesn't, what do you call it, destroy, which is actually kind of relevant sometimes. Zombie Vampire, this card's actually really good. I do actually think this is a good card. And like I said, this can fit into a lot more decks than just this archetype. It could fit into like a bunch of decks. So I do think this is a good card. And Vampire's Fascinator, I think this card performed pretty well too. Overall star of the deck was Baldric. This card single-handedly carried most of the games. I'm going to say that right now. As much as I love Volvid, and Volvid has its place, it's a very good card. If you guys don't know what this does, it's the card that lets me special summon 2 cards from your opponent's graveyard. And on top of that, if your opponent has a card in the graveyard, if they activate an effect of a monster while they have the same name in the graveyard, you can negate the activation, and that doesn't sound that good, but that works against hand traps. So if your opponent tries to Ash or Max C, since they technically discard it to the graveyard for for the activation, I'll be able, it can negate the hand traps. So it's actually like pretty useful. The ability is very good, but it's just one of those things that are like, I don't know. There's just so many decks right now doing so much more powerful things. And don't get me wrong, this was a brand new account. A lot of the games that you've seen were in gold. There was one game that was in platinum, which was the Dynamorphia game, but all the other games were in gold. And we were able to climb on a brand new account relatively quickly, like a few hours, like 5-6 hours, from rookie to plat 5. That's not too bad. What was the win rate? If I had to guess, I'm gonna guess because I didn't record. I stopped recording how many wins I was getting each thing. I would say from rookie to gold 5 was like an 80 or 90% win rate. We won pretty much almost every game besides like 2. And then from gold 5 to plat 5, I would say that the win rate dropped probably down to like 65-70% ish. We won most of our games, but we did lose a lot more like frequently. We maybe lost like 8 games or something like that. But yeah, I actually think the deck was pretty good though. It just wasn't like you're not gonna like. I think you probably hit diamond playing vampires, but you're not winning tournaments and stuff with the deck for the most part, unless you're playing like locals or some shit against a bunch of Mongos. So on a 1 to 10, what do we rate it? I think we rate it a 7. It's not great, but it's not horrible. It's like okay. And it's a rogue tier deck. You definitely could make the deck better, I think. I just really wanted to stick with the vampire theme, you know? But I think you could probably change it and make it a bit better by adding Eldritch and the full Eldritch package and removing all the vampires. The deck was fun, though. I did enjoy playing it. So, hope this was an informative video for you all, and it helps you make some decisions in the future. Now, remember, subscribe and join the Discord. That's actually probably more important because Discord is awesome, and I would love for you guys to join it. So, until next time, again, let me know what you guys want to see. Goodbye.